Welcome back to another episode of the Scottsdale Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Haygood. When you want to grow and expand your business, your local Chamber of Commerce is a great place to start. It's a place where like-minded people come together to learn, connect, and as I've personally learned, have fun with each other. The Scottsdale Chamber celebrates 75 years in 2022. That's 75 years of helping businesses and people grow in this community we all get to call home. Here to teach me more about the Chamber and why you should join is President and CEO Mark Stanton. So Mark, I really just kind of want to start at the beginning. First of all, thank you for joining me at the table this week. But tell me why a chamber is so important to a city to prosper and grow.
Well, Alicia, first of all, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Scottsdale Vibes is awesome, and I am so proud to be here with you today and to be part of the podcast. So, 75 years Scottsdale Chamber. We don't look a day over 30.
You don't. I agree.
We really holding it together well. But the Chamber was actually, the Scottsdale Area Chamber was founded before the city of Scottsdale was actually a city.
Oh my gosh.
And the Chamber was instrumental in deciding where intersections would be and helping form the municipal government, and really was in on the ground floor before it was actually a city. And from there we have grown and expanded to help businesses, help the community to be part of the quality of life, and help businesses connect with the community and help the community connect with businesses.
And that really is a key to success, because if they don't work together, neither one of them can really be successful on their own. We need each other.
Well, we do, and if you look at the different constituencies, and there are so many different groups now, and there's volunteer groups, and there's specific groups like the arts, or it may be, it could be you're tied into a volunteer group. The Chamber creates a space where we're connected to all of these different elements: education, the arts, the business community, the municipality, public safety. And we thread all of that together with programming that's available to our members and to the greater community.
We'll talk about some of that programming, because I was going to bring that up. You all do everything. There is literally an event to meet everyone's time and needs. You have breakfasts that are early before the business starts, around 9 a.m. You have lunch connects, you have PM and happy hour connects. Then you just have special events as well. You all really cater to everyone to make sure that everyone has a time slot that works for them.
Well, we try to, and we try to look towards content. What is it going to be as a business owner like yourself, or a part of a larger business operation that gives you some connectivity? So we'll do programming that may be the AM, the coffee crowd, the AM Connect, or the PM Connect if it's the after work crowd. We do a program called Women in Leadership, showcasing the success of women in different areas of business and in the community. We work very closely with the economic development side of programs. So we do a program called Scottsdale Forward, which is an economic symposium. We do a program called Scottsdale Air Park Forum, focusing on the air park community and what's important, because as your listeners may know, the air park is a juggernaut of economic development for the whole region, and it's lucky enough that it's right here in our backyard in Scottsdale.
You all even have something for the younger people here in Scottsdale, from like the 29 to the 39 age group,
it's
right?
39 and below.
Okay.
It's called Scottsdale Rising Young Professionals, and we have several hundred members in that group. And that demographic, it's only in that space. You have to be in business, but you under the age of 39.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of programming. That group particularly likes to get involved in volunteerism. So we do a lot of connectivity in different volunteer efforts, and we do a lot of behind-the-scenes activities. For example, next week, the Rising Young Professionals group is going to do a behind-the-scenes at the Phoenix Zoo.
I know, I'm really excited.
That's going to be awesome. You got to meet Fernando the Sloth.
Okay.
And then we've taken him out. We've done a behind-the-scenes tour of Palo Verde Nuclear Power Plant.
Wow.
We've done, and so we have a whole book of programming that's specifically designed for that demographic. They have their own board of directors within the chamber.
Okay.
They're Scottsdale Rising Young Professionals president of the chair of that group, serves on the chamber board as well.
Very cool.
So we have connectivity because we know that demographic is so critical to workforce development towards the future of Scottsdale. And there are so many burgeoning entrepreneurs. I'm sitting with one right now, so I know firsthand. And that's important to have that group have an ability to network and grow and learn from each other, and they in turn contribute back to the community, and we're proud to do it with the Chamber.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth for the next question. Scottsdale is I think one of the things that I have loved about Scottsdale since moving here in such a short time is everyone has a drive for success. Everyone wants to be the best they can be, the best version of themselves, the best, business person. Why do you think Scottsdale is such a critical city and such an open city for entrepreneurs and businesses to come here?
Well, I think that's a fascinating question, and it's interesting to me. I grew up in the area. I'm not from Scottsdale originally. I'm from Chicago area originally, but my family moved out here when I was very, very young, so I went to high school here and grade school.
We'll call you a local at this point.
I'll go with local. I'll just dance with that. But what I find, and I see this most directly in my role with the Chamber, is Scottsdale is a very aspirational brand.
I love that.
People want to come to Scottsdale to visit, to play, and they fall in love. And what they see is opportunity. They see the opportunity to be part of a culture and a lifestyle and to create their own destiny. And in a lot of ways, if you're, no offense to sort of the Baltimores or some of the older, more established communities, Scottsdale is really a place where people come to.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of there are homegrowns obviously, but there's a lot of folks that come here, like yourself, that come here and they start a business. They get involved in the community and they realize the quality of life is it's sought after globally.
It really
and
is.
People want to. You can travel the world and you say Scottsdale and people light up.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, we were kind of talking before we started recording, and I've lived all over the U.S. in different areas. My parents come to visit here more than they've ever visited me anywhere. They absolutely love it here. My friends that come here, they're like, what is this? And I was like, don't tell anyone. It's a hidden gem. I like how we're at right now. But even I was surprised, as someone who's never been here before moving here, the opportunities, everything it has to offer here. It's just in an abundance, and
the quality of life, the sheer fact that you've got, we've got a thriving community. The economy, despite all the trials and tribulations with COVID, is continuing to move forward. You've got you've got a foundation of a brand, and when you're here and you're raising a family and you're driving down the street and you're not stuck in traffic, and you can get from A to B in 15 minutes, and it's sunny.
Always.
And even when it's hot, you can still go inside and get some cool air conditioning. But it's just I get it. I see it all the time. And there's not a week that doesn't go by when I'm at the Chamber when a business owner from another area of the country doesn't call and say, tell me about Scottsdale.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about moving my business there.
Really?
Yeah, right on.
Fantastic. Well, you mentioned it before. You are a local. We'll call you that, at this point. You've worked here. You've owned businesses here.
Yep.
What have you learned from doing all those different steps of working in Scottsdale to be in the position that you are now as president and CEO of the Chamber?
Thank you. That's having grown up here, volunteering and at the Parada del Sol when I was in Cub Scouts, and then going to high school and getting involved in all the different volunteer efforts. I started my career in marketing and public relations, and so I was working with firms, and I decided to start my own. And I was aware of the Chamber. I had friends that were connected to the Chamber, businesses that I had worked with, and I said, that's the first step I'm going to make. And it was the catalyst for me to get involved, and got me connected into the Charros and got me connected into the school district in a new way. And so I really enjoyed being a part of the Chamber as a member, and then I was fortunate enough to serve on the board.
That's awesome.
And that's when I really kind of became a real advocate for what the Chamber had to offer, because just like you, the Chamber has a lot of very straightforward programming, but it's the in-between things that we do, how we tackle big issues. It may be, right now there's topics, diversity and inclusion, opioid awareness. We're not shying away from any of that. We're all in, because if we can help the community and help the business owners in different levels of understanding, helping their employees, we're all in. And so since my journey began with the Chamber to today, it's very, I see the benefits. I see what it did for me personally and professionally, and I see it every day at the Chamber when I find and meet a new business. People connect, and it's very organic. It's just a very vibrant place, and we serve as the voice of business. So
I like that.
we're at the table with, for example, the arts community or education or other nonprofits, public safety, and we very much cherish that position that we can be engaged and bring all of that information and content to our members. So we can bring in subject matter experts that could be very helpful. It could be the Women in Leadership program, looking at entrepreneurs that have started and succeeded. So we're constantly looking at new content and bringing that to our members, and in turn bringing it to the community.
You mentioned we had Dennis from the Scottsdale Charros on earlier last month, and we've had the Thunderbirds on. There's so many organizations that all help out Scottsdale. You really do work with everybody to make everyone feel inclusive. Talk a little bit more about working like with the art, you know, the art committee and stuff like that, and how that just makes Scottsdale bigger and better as a whole.
Well, if you look at the Chamber's role, we typically work directly with businesses, but we have over 300 not-for-profit organizations that are part of the Chamber, and we work to make them connected to potential sponsors, potential volunteers, and getting their message out, as well as getting the businesses connected back to those organizations. So we are the superintendent of public schools in Scottsdale serves on our board.
Okay.
The president of Scottsdale Arts serves on our board. The head of Experience Scottsdale serves on our board. The Charros, Dennis Robbins, serves on our board. So we have a real eclectic group that's part of that, healthcare to manufacturing to financial services to the folks that run the airport.
Yeah.
So we really try to bring in and be a sounding board, because all of those connection points help make the Chamber stronger, and then in turn we can get information out to our members and programming, like you said. So we're always looking at trying to help and be connected, whether it's with our young professionals group, or even, as I mentioned, with education, helping with mentoring, helping with internships. We work very closely with Scottsdale Community College, with ASU, with Grand Canyon University. So we see that there's a space there that the Chamber fills that the best way to describe it is economic development. That we're trying to build out an understanding of the potential for Scottsdale businesses and then help connect them to issues and opportunities.
I personally have benefited from so much with the Chamber. You know, I think that's what we need. I want to ask you too. You have everyone from the Chamber, from those big names you just mentioned, to little businesses that's really just me and my couple, you know, people behind the scenes that help me. There is no size that matters to join the Chamber and be a part of this community.
We are one-size-fits-all opportunities. So we have very large corporations, Fortune 50 companies that are actively involved in the Chamber, that are sitting at a table next to a one-person entrepreneurial shop, and everything in between, from folks that are in pharmaceuticals to manufacturing to you name it. And what's great is this is a great equal playing field. So you can meet different business leaders that you may learn from. They may become a client. They may become a vendor. You never know. And
a guest on the podcast.
Next thing you know, you're on a podcast. I'm living large. You kidding me? Absolutely. Who would have thunk it?
I want to take a short break. When we come back, Mark, I want to talk about the future and celebrating 75 years here in this city. Fantastic. Just a few more. Take a note. All right. Well, welcome back. I'm sitting here with Mark Stanton of the Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. Mark, we mentioned earlier 75 years this year with the Chamber. What have you seen since your tenure here at the Chamber, and what do you see for the future of the Chamber?
Great question. First of all, I know you just said you're sitting here with the president of the Chamber, but I'm sitting here on Scottsdale Vibe right now with Alicia, so I'm right where I want to be.
I love it.
75 years. So that's a evolution of what a chamber is, and I'm very, very proud of what the Scottsdale Chamber has become, and we're celebrating that all year long. And we're integrating all of the elements of the history of Scottsdale and the Scottsdale Chamber in different programs and events. We have our History Hall of Fame event coming up in a few weeks here. We're very excited about that. And whether it be the History Hall of Fame event, our golf tournament, or the programming all the way every month that we have, we're threading through historical points and facts and milestones about Scottsdale and how the Chamber was part of that and what the Chamber has done to help the city of Scottsdale. So we continue to do that every day. We engage with the elected leaders, we engage with business owners, we engage with the nonprofits, and it's our job to build connectivity.
I love that. What what do you think your legacy as the leader of this chamber will be? And I know you're not going anywhere yet, so we have time to think about this.
Unless you know something I don't.
I don't.
Planning to stick around. You know what? I consider myself a very prideful stakeholder and space holder. This is my job, and I'm going to continue the legacy of engagement with the community and with the businesses. And what I want to see the Chamber continue to do is evolve into a place of content, of becoming essential for businesses and essential for community leaders to exchange thoughts and ideas, look towards better ways, look towards solutions, and not be shy of the fact that, yeah, I think we are an amazing area, we've got incredible businesses, incredible talent, but we got challenges.
Right.
You know, we can't hide from the fact that life's going on and you never know what the next corner is going to give you, and how we face those challenges is a place where I want to see the Chamber continue to grow. And that is attracting good talent to come into the Chamber as members, but also the content that we offer for programming, not just for the members, but what we offer for the entire community.
Yeah.
So we're not shy, and I'm going to continue to encourage our organization to look towards problem solving, not be, it may be hard to go through and look at some issues, but that's our job. We need to do that. Don't shy away, and that's how you get better.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, whether it be public safety, we work very closely with the police chief and the fire chief and their teams, and it's just it's critical that we are fully aware. When there's a problem, it's like a family.
Yeah.
You all got to know it. You got to face it, and you got to look towards the solution. And we rise or fall together.
Another thing you do together is work with other chambers in the Valley. You're not just about Scottsdale. You bring that knowledge and wealth, and like you just said, working together with others to learn and from the Scottsdale. Tell me about working with other chambers and what's the benefit of that? Well,
that's a great point. There's the chamber, or there are chambers about chambers and chambers to get connected to chambers. And we encourage all of that. We've got great partners with chambers, both in terms of statewide and in the metropolitan Maricopa County area. As a matter of fact, the Scottsdale Chamber is part of an association called the East Valley Chamber of Commerce Alliance,
okay.
EVCCA. And the CEOs, myself and the 6 other CEOs, get together every single week.
Oh, wow.
And every Monday we get together and we have about an hour and a half. We talk about issues that are facing the area, the region of the East Valley, what we're looking at for potential issues for advocacy, where we can weigh in as a collective entity at the state capitol and say, this is where the business community may be facing. So, for example, if it may be regulatory or taxation, and so we work together and actually have the association that works on a myriad of issues. And then we do networking. So we'll have cross-chamber events, and it's very healthy. And to me, in my position with the chamber, if you belong to the Gilbert Chamber or the Mesa Chamber or the Scottsdale Chamber, all good.
Yeah.
As long as you're in that space and you're contributing and you're getting out of it that same, because a chamber is a little like, I can compare it to a cruise ship. If you get on a cruise ship and you stay in your cabin, that's all you're going to get.
That's true.
But if you get out of your cabin and go to the shows, do the shore excursions, go to the casino, stop off and have a cocktail or 12, whatever it is, you're going to get a totally different experience.
Yeah.
So the Scottsdale Chamber or the Mesa Chamber or Tempe Chamber, that fact that industry is so important to the fabric of a community. And there are, I'm very proud this year I'm serving as the Arizona Chamber Executives Board Chair.
Congrats.
So I get to work with chambers all around the state, from one-person operations to 50-person organizations. And it's fascinating to see that all communities have commonalities, and commonalities for business. So whether you're working with an entrepreneur that's trying to figure out how to get the job going and how to hire and retain employees, or if you're looking at a larger corporation that's trying to nurture your employees to get involved in volunteer efforts, chambers have an important role.
I think that's a really good point, because I think that's the connection we as humans look for, is that commonality to bring us together. And it just goes to show you don't have to live in the exact same community to have that common denominator to help each other out and figure out where you belong together.
Absolutely. And if it's helping workforce, attract businesses, attract employees, retain employees, like the Young Professionals Group.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great space for those young burgeoning business leaders to come up and either continue on their own journey, or maybe they find a different opportunity, but it's all part of that connectivity.
Yeah. Excuse me. I will say I've been a member of the chamber for probably about a little over half a year now. So about 8, 9 months. I think I joined last summer. And I really was hesitant because I'm like, I'm just a podcaster, and I'm just one person. But I will tell you what, it was the best decision I made. And and I felt it. And I think also coming off the last crazy couple years, it was another way for me to connect and feel like I belong in this community after some isolation, after everything. I have to cancel some events because you have so many going on. I cannot come to all of them, which I think is fantastic because it really does give me the opportunity to go. You're starting to see the same faces and people at some of them, which is nice because that friendship, it's going from a business relationship to almost a friendship now, right? Some of us are texting and, are you going to the event tonight? Yes, I'll see you there. Can't wait. It has really opened up so many networking opportunities and doors for me. So I'm not being paid or anything to say this is from my heart. It really is fantastic. And I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't think I was going to fit in as a small business owner, and it was the complete opposite. Everyone treats you the same, no matter whether if you're Cox Business or Michelle Media with Scottsdale Vibes. Everyone looks at me the same. And I think that's a great accomplishment to be such a diverse networking community.
Well, and I saw it. I saw when you joined,
Yeah.
and you came on with a good attitude. I didn't see any skepticism.
I didn't.
And I saw the smile on your face, and you were very gregarious and meeting people. And I think it goes back to the adage that people want to do business with people they like.
Yeah.
And they want to do business with people because when I refer somebody to talk to Scottsdale Vibes, I'm putting my reputation on the line.
Right, yeah,
and
thank
you're
you.
going to put your reputation on the line by saying join the chamber because it's an important confidence builder that you're meeting people and you feel that referral base, and we do it all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I see it. Yesterday we did an introduction to several new chamber members, and they're all wide-eyed and
Yeah.
excited, and to me it's one of the opportunities that if you put your effort in, it's going to come back to you. And it's I look at the chamber world as, and I've said this before, and that is there's two sides to that. There's the transactional side, which means you're going to exchange goods and services, you're going to get a client, you may get a vendor out of the association, and then there's the transformational side of it. And I see a lot of businesses come in thinking, well, I'm going to have to sell 15 widgets to make it worth my while. They're in for a couple of months and they are all of a sudden involved in education causes, and they're
Right.
involved in this, and they've secured that transactional space, but now they're transformational. Now
love
they're
that.
making something different in the community.
That's so true. And I feel like I'm going through that transformation. Yeah, I like that. That really spoke to me. Well, before we leave, thank you so much for joining us. It is the most important question I like to ask all my guests. What is your favorite Scottsdale vibe?
Oh, Lord.
That's how everyone starts. I only can pick one. I can only pick one.
I will have to tell you that it's the pulse.
Oh, I love that.
The pulse is consistent. Yesterday I was in my office and some visitors, we're not the Convention and Visitors Bureau, although they did start with Scottsdale
Yeah.
Chamber, but we have materials, so people stop in all the time. And I had a group in there yesterday from Montana. And they came in, I've never had the pleasure of going to Montana, but they came in and they were just talking about being in downtown and Old Town and how they went up to Scottsdale Quarter and they're so excited and they're going to go to and they were just bubbling. And they said, we don't have anything like Scottsdale in Montana.
Wow.
And it's just that energy, that's that connectivity, and that is what I love. I love the fact that there's always something new going on, whether it be the Arabian Horse Show, or we've got the Phoenix Open right now, and you've got Barrett Jackson, and we got, keep your fingers crossed, spring training. You got a lot of things going on, but that is just the constant pulse where there is something literally for everyone.
I love that. I had Mayor Ortega on, and I love the line he used with Scottsdale Smiles. And I really just felt that, and I think it really just goes to show we are, Scottsdale is smiling right now. We're in our season, and everyone's coming to visit, and it's so good to see the city busy and happy and back to its vibrant self.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
it's
does.
Great. It feels really good.
Well, before we leave, where can people find you? Where can we go to join? It's so worth your time. Trust me.
Absolutely. We'd love to talk to folks. Check out our website, scottsdalechamber.com. ScottsdaleChamber.com, pretty straightforward.
Yep, I got it.
We've got a directory. You can see our membership there. You can look at our calendar of events. You can learn about membership engagement. We've got all different sizes of memberships to engage different businesses based on your goals and your budget and where you can give the time. Because we respect that people, they're running businesses. So we want to make sure we're a value add and we're given opportunity. But ScottsdaleChamber.com, and we're happy to help you out.
Another thing that's great about you guys, you don't have to be a member to come to some of your events to give it a try. You open your doors to anyone to get a feel.
Absolutely.
And
we have lots of programming. There is obviously a good amount that is member specific for different member level engagements, but we do a number of events that are open for public engagement. When pandemic was crunching us and we didn't know, I learned firsthand how valuable the chamber is to the members, but I also saw how we were important to non-members. So when we were working with the city to create signage for people to say that they were open or they were doing delivery or for takeout, it didn't matter whether you were a paying member of the chamber or not. We're going to help you out. We're going to engage with you. We're going to give you the opportunity. Yeah, we'd love to have your membership, but more importantly, we want to have you doing business in Scottsdale. That's what counts.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Mark, for joining me. It was a pleasure. I will see you around town, no doubt, with all the events.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I'll be there. I'll be looking for you.